we know the importance of peace, and we understand that God created the land before God created men. Have we ever thought of it, the condition of the world before the creation of the first man? I'm sure the world was peaceful. Before our time, it was a time of different prophets giving the word of God for the world to know that God exists. And you agree with me today that the world has faith and they know the existence of the Almighty Allah, because we have a lot of mosques. During the time of the prophets, there were no mosques because people did not have faith. But now, next thing to take on the surface of the world is peace, because without peace, we can never build progress. Your Royal Highness, you agree with me with the so much resources that God has put on our land. The arable lands, the waterways, the mineral resources, and also even human capital resources. All these resources will not translate itself to economical growth, except with the involvement of people and, of course, good leadership. Bad leadership has taken us to where we are today as a country. And as a generation, 2023 brings a huge hope to us to rewrite the story of our country. As the Ayedero of Yoruba land, the promoter of peace, I know that peace is the most paramount to us as a nation today. As the election in 2023 draw closer, I believe that our country must negotiate for peace so that we can be able to build the progress that we need as a nation. And looking at what happened in 2021, where we lost an average of 35,000 people to banditry, kidnapping, robbery, and a lot of insecurity. You will agree with me that this is a preceding to election year. This is a time that normally violence takes almost all the space. And this is the reason I believe that as a promoter of peace, you must come up with a proactive plan to engage the people on the importance of living in peaceful coexistence, regardless of our religious belief, regardless of our ethnicity or our political ideology. Your Royal Highness, this is the reason that we have designed the Ayedero Peace Door. We understand the importance of leadership. The resources that God has put in our land can never translate itself to results, except we have the right leadership. And you will agree with me that there is no leadership where there is no vision. We believe this is the time for the people to come together and change our style of politics from identifying and building individuals to building and strengthening institutions. Of course, we cannot build and strengthen an institution that will bring peace to a nation without putting peace and unity of the nation at the forefront. This is what we have been doing. When we left Niger State, we were in Kebbi State, and where we were with the Emir of Gwandu, and also received us, and he emphasized also on the importance of building peace, and also for the government to make the right policies that will propagate peace in our nation. Your Royal Highness, you will agree with me that we can never talk about peace building without coming to Zamfara State. A lot of people discouraged us because of the level of insecurity that is happening in Zamfara. But as the leader of this delegation, I know this is the challenges that we will meet. And in as much as we are led by the will of Almighty Allah, I know that we will get here safely. And coming to Zamfara today, makes me to believe that Zamfara is a source of great things to happen in Nigeria. I am happy also that we're able to even meet the youth before coming to meet with you, your Highness. I might not have had an idea of how organized your youth, your people are in Zamfara. I gave an assurance that I will give every form of leadership for them to make sure that their voice is heard and they are included in the governance of our state and our nation at large. Your Highness, I am happy to be here. I understand the pain that the state is going through in the hands of bandits. And we cannot come here without not identifying with you or sharing part of this pain. And on this note, we have come with some bags of rice, which we'll be handing over here, so that we can be able, to feed the internally displaced persons. And I want you to know that we have you in prayers and in support. In as much as it's my first time in Zamfara, definitely the atmosphere, the love, the people of Zamfara that I've gotten for the people of Zamfara will not make it the last. You will continue to see me here, inshallah Rahman. I understand that we cannot achieve progress as a nation without peace. And on this note, considering what has happened within the last 1 year in Nigeria, that we have lost over 35,000 people to insecurity in Nigeria, making a lot of people displaced from their homes. We are stopping in Zamfara today. After we've stopped in Mina, Niger State, we've been in Kebbi State, we've been to Sokoto, and now we are in Zamfara. We understand that the state is bleeding. And outside preaching the word of peace to the citizens of the state, we are supporting the internally displaced persons by giving them some food as a token of support to them. We are establishing this relationship with Zamfara State, knowing that the state has so much resources and has so much potential. And until the state is peaceful, the state will not be able to rise up, to this potential. I am also the founder of the Lead Generation Initiative, an organization that is developing a new generation of leaders in Nigeria. We have been training youth from one state to another, and we are in 11 states as I speak, where we have trained youth on active citizenship to develop their interest in nation building, political mobilization and political organizing, and also to drive them on how they can be able to be leaders from the comfort of their own communities. Before you think about who the next president of Nigeria is, you must be able to first of all think about yourself. Are you the kind of president that you want within the comfort of your own area? We have met with the youth and the young politicians of this state today, and I can say the state has everything to actualize its potential. But without peace, we can never achieve progress. And that is why we have designed this proactive move of Ayedero Peace Talk to visit all the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria so that we can preach the word of peace and identify that thing that everybody has that we can use to develop peace in our minds, which is love and understanding. If you love one another, you will understand that peace will be built in your community. And this is what we are preaching. And I'm happy to see that the youth of Zamfara are ready to commit their quota to develop peace in the nation. So we have just finished a meeting with the Emir and the government, because these two institutions plays an important role in ensuring peace in our nation. God created the land before God created men. I'm sure before the creation of the first man, the world was peaceful. So the unfortunate thing is God did not create government. Men created government. So as a generation, we must rise up to our challenge and build a peaceful coexistence, regardless of our ethnicity, regardless of our religious belief, or even our political ideology. I'm happy to see that Zamfara, Zamfara State is a very, very nice state. This is my first time here, and I cannot wait to come back here again. So I urge the young people of Zamfara to play their own role and to understand that first thing for you to build peace is to be able to make sacrifice. I am in support of power shift for the South, and I will tell you a reason for that. It is because without peace, we cannot be able to build progress. And we must first of all love and understand ourselves. Even Islam teaches us that we must obey fairness, equity, and justice. Truly, in democracy, the majority must always have their way. But it doesn't mean that in a country of diverse ethnicity, we will not identify principle of equity, fairness, and justice. If the Northerners have been in power for 8 years, 2 times, uninterrupted 2 times, I believe, and you have the Yorubas agitating for Yoruba nation, and you have the Igbos agitating for Biafra, and we have a time to go into transition. It is always good to look at the side of the minority and ask them to develop an institution to put the peace and the unity of this country at the forefront. I'm not talking about identifying an individual and strengthening an individual when we are meant to be building an institution. So for peaceful reasons, I support that power should shift to South so that we can develop peace and we can be able to progress as a nation.